What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So as far as the market's going, I just want to mention that SPY has a possible left shoulder, a head and a right shoulder that could be forming, and that could be a sign that there might be some downside coming, but it's not a guarantee, and we have to be very careful. As a reminder, at 2 o'clock p.m., we have the interest rate decision coming out from the Fed. We're expecting a cut. There's about a 90% chance we get a cut from the Fed. We know it's going to most likely happen. And then we also have the FOMC economic projections. This will be more impactful, causing more volatility, because they'll give us an idea of how the Fed is going to be looking at interest rates for many years out. Finally, at 2:30, we have Jerome Powell giving his speech and the Q&A session at the press conference, so look for volatility at these times. For now, SPY is very choppy, so be careful because this could be hurting premiums. And then we just have to wait for Jerome Powell to see what we end up doing. There is a possible head and shoulders like pattern on SPY, though, so be careful. For those out there who are looking at the setup, sometimes these do pan out. Sometimes you see the head and shoulders pan out, sometimes they don't. This could be a trap, so you never know. So be very, very unbiased and be careful. But I just want to note there is some downside risk looking at the current setup, and there is a chance that this is going to pan out. This could lead to a bigger sell-off to fill the gap at 675. It's a possibility, not a guarantee, so we'll see how it goes. The QQQ is holding up decently. It's actually kind of flat right now, but there's also a possible left shoulder, head and right shoulder. That could be indicative of more downside to come. We'll see what happens with Jerome Powell, but if we do see this head and shoulders pan out, we're looking for 619, then potentially all the way down to 610, which could be tested. For the IWM, we have a divergence. We're currently fighting at 252. Will we break this and turn back to being bullish? Or will this turn into a bearish divergence and give us a rejection back down to 248? It could go either way. ES is very choppy right now. We're going to see if this head and shoulders pans out or not, depending on Jerome Powell. On NQ, we also have a head and shoulders like pattern. Will we break to the ups or do we get a big rug pull? You also want to be very, very careful. On Bitcoin, we're range bound between 94,000 and 91,000. We're going to see if we dip to 91,000. We're still completely stuck. Tesla is also consolidating. It's very flat right now. And we're going to see what happens with Jerome Powell's speech and also the decision that comes out. Will this cause Tesla to pump or dump? If this is a lower high, though, there is a risk of it coming down, especially if 443 breaks. Nvidia is selling off a little bit. We're going to see if we could get back above 184. If we don't, there's a risk of us returning to 180 flat. Nvda, looking at Nvda and Appl, they're looking like opposites. Apple's bouncing a little bit, but keep in mind the possibility of a left shoulder head, and we're going to see if this is like a right shoulder, if we're going to get a rejection or not. If we break 280, we could try to bounce more, but if we lose 276, we could be looking for a dump, so we'll see how it goes. On Palantir, we're basically looking more bullish. We have 188 as our resistance. We have support down here at 185. We're going to see how it ends up reacting, but for now, we're looking a bit more bullish. On AMD, we're also in the middle. We're making lower highs right now, so watch to see what happens at this 218 area if we get a rejection. For Coinbase, we're making lower highs. We could be tipping back down to 272 if that fails us. We're looking for 267. For Amazon, we're in the middle. We have a nice looking accumulation. This is also a slight divergence, so we're looking for an attempt to get back up towards 233. There's some upside potential. On Meta, we're range bound between 657 as resistance and 646 as our support. We're in the middle. We're waiting for FOMC, but I still see some downside risk for this stock to retest the 640s. Google looks a bit more bullish as long as we're above 317. We're going to be favoring the 320s, but if we lose that, we're going to be turning back down. Then Microsoft is in the middle. We're going to see if we get back above 482. If we don't, we could be returning to 478. Last but not least, the VIX is starting to break out. We're range bound right now between 17.5 and 16.8, but we're going to see if this bounces. There's also a gap down here to fill in case we get a big rejection, but as of right now, it looks like it's attempting to break out, so we'll see what that leads to. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. We're going to see what happens with the market moving forward. There are possible head and shoulders setups developing on SPY and the QQQ, but of course, they do not guarantee we will see downside. It's a strong possibility, but not a guarantee, as it depends on what Mr. Jerome Powell says alongside our other FOMC factors. Thank you for listening, guys. We'll see what happens. Let's get ready for some more volatility very soon, and peace out.